Okay, today we are talking about atomizing humidifiers. Okay, so here is a 3D model of a atomizing humidifier setup. You have your supply plenum here on top, your return plenum here on the bottom, and this junction box here is what houses a thermostat switch and a water solenoid valve, and the atomizing nozzle is attached to that solenoid valve. You can see on this water line we also have an inline water filter, generally a granular activated carbon type filter or a polyphosphate water conditioning filter, because you want to remove as much of the sediment and silt from the water that goes through that nozzle, because that nozzle has a very tiny orifice and can get clogged easily with calcium or mineral deposits. There's also a water shutoff valve to ease servicing and repair. We have our humidistat mounted on the side of the return plenum down here. So you got 24 volts coming into the humidistat. If the humidity level in the building is low, the switch inside the humidistat will close and send 24 volts up into the junction box. And if you have warm air flowing through your supply plenum, meaning your furnace is running and up to temperature, then the thermostat switch will close and send 24 volts to the solenoid valve, allowing water to flow through that nozzle, dispersing a fine mist of water, or moisture, if you will, into the airstream inside your supply duct. And because it's warm air in that supply duct, that very fine mist of water basically evaporates into that airstream.
Wow.
And so you get warm, humidified air coming out of your supply registers in your building. The humidistat needs to be mounted in a place somewhere inside the building envelope in the occupied space, or in this instance, it's mounted on the side of the return plenum. That particular humidistat does not have a probe that sticks into the return plenum. It simply takes in the ambient air in the room and measures the humidity. Some humidifiers will be controlled and attached. The wires will be attached to the circuit board inside your air handler or furnace, or a standalone setup. Some of them operate on 24 volts, 120 volts. So if we remove the cover from the junction box, and we'll take a look around this model to give you a better idea of how it works. So you can see the nozzle sticking inside the supply duct there. And again, that nozzle has a very tiny, tiny orifice, which atomizes the water, which basically means you're just turning the big water droplets into a very fine mist, like fog. And so that's the key. It's not a large amount of water. It's not big water droplets. It's a very small amount of water, and it's a very fine mist that it comes out as. And you can see the other side of that temperature switch there as well. So this setup, you can buy these parts readily available online and build your own DIY atomizing humidifier. Or you can buy these as a kit. There are several makes and models out there on the open market. So I'll try to zoom in a little closer here. Again, there's a humidistat on the bottom. See inside the junction box, that solenoid valve, and that thermostat switch. So the thermostat switch, you can buy them where they will close the circuit at a preset temperature, so it's non-adjustable. Or you can also buy thermostat switches that are adjustable if you were going to do this project DIY. So let's briefly talk maintenance. Atomizing humidifiers are fairly simple and easy as far as maintenance. You change the inline water filter once a year, or maybe every other year, depending on how hard your water is. Inspect and clean that nozzle and the little mesh screen, and turn the power and water off to the humidifier after heating season is over. If you want to make your own atomizing humidifier, here is a generic parts list. I did not include pricing or part numbers, as you can buy these parts. They're readily available online, and each person's situation is going to be unique and specific. For example, do you want to connect your humidifier to your furnace control board? Do you want a standalone humidifier where you buy a step-down transformer that steps down the 120 volts to 24 volts? You get the idea. I hope this information helps you. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment, and thanks for watching.